Hello and welcome to this video. As you can see behind me is a Ford Mondeo. In this video we're going to be working on this one. We are going to be carrying out an oil and filter change, so I thought I'd just show you how to do that and we'll go from there. As you can see, I've got an oil suction pump. I'm guessing a lot of you won't have these. If you do a lot of servicing or you have a lot of your own vehicles, it is quite good. You can suck a lot of the oil out of there. I do still, however, undo the sump plug underneath to make sure that I get all of the oil out. But this is just quite a good way. I find it just makes a lot less mess because it doesn't gush out through the bottom of the engine. But yeah, I thought I'd just show you a couple of things. The first one is, when I'm draining the oil, like same on every car, if you've seen any of my other videos, I usually just undo that and leave it on the top so it breaks any seal on the engine, any air seal or anything like that. I just think it gives an airflow through and helps the oil drain out quicker. As you can see, this one is a 2 litre, I believe it's is it 2 litre? Yeah. Yeah, 2 litre diesel. This is the titanium model. Econetic, yes. You might find this one in other cars, I'm not sure, because if you look down here, there is the Peugeot Citroen Alliance for this engine, so it may be in other vehicles, so if it is, it'll be the same. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is jack the vehicle up. Unfortunately, you missed that riveting piece of video because I forgot to film it. The vehicle is jacked up, ready to go, because the oil filter is underneath, so is the sump plug. They're both underneath the car. First thing we have to do though is take the under tray off. And to do that, there is a bunch of torque screws. They are, I believe, either a T30 or T25. I'll write it here somewhere in the video when I know what one it is. Torx piece. So yeah, you need one of them to take the under tray off, and once that's off, I'll show you where everything else is. Right, so welcome to underneath. I don't think you can see very well, but I hope you can hear me still over the wind. But there are 5 screws on the front of on the under tray, and then there is another 2 back there, and then this panel should come down and we should be able to see everything we want to get at. Sorry, I lied before. There is 4 at the back, because there's these 2 here which I originally pointed out, but there's also these 2 here. Right, as you can see, we have the metal filter here, which is should only be hand tight. I did it last year, so it is hand tight, but if not, you can get special tools. You can get pipe grips, or like anything like that. The other thing I wanted to point out was the sump plug. Right, now be very careful with these sump plugs because they are only plastic, and if you get them wrong, they are very easily breakable. So what we do is take this pin out, and then you turn it, I think it's half a turn anti-clockwise. Now I've taken that metal pin out, the R-clip, this should just turn like that, and pull it out like that, and you still get oil everywhere, because it's a horrific design, absolutely awful design. Well done, Ford, Peugeot, whoever did that, because now there's oil all over my street, all over me, and all over my laydown mat. Fantastic. Luckily I do have granules, which I will use to clean this road up afterwards. So now this is the bit you have to be extra careful with when you put this thing back in. It only goes in one way. Push it in, quarter of a turn, there we are. Sump is now tight again. Oil everywhere. What a fantastic design. Now we're going to be changing the filter. Like I say, if these are done properly, they only need to be hand tight. Again, very nice and messy. Just unscrew it, let it drain off for a minute, and unscrew the rest. nice rag handy. If you're going to do it this way, you might want to just check out my Chevy Astro how to service a vehicle, because it's got a metal filter like this one. Best thing to do is spin it until you start seeing the oil dripping around the outside, leave it till it's draining off until it's finished dripping, then undo the rest. It makes a lot less of a mess. However, in for a penny, in for a pound with this one. I started making a mess, so I'm just going to carry on, and I'm on a bit of a time crunch because we are losing daylight. What we do afterwards, as always, when you get these, the filter, the seal is dry, so rub a bit of used oil on it just to make sure it's nice and lubricated, and that stops it twisting or pinching, which could cause that to leak later on. So what we're going to do, just twist that round a bit. There we go. Actually, that filter actually does say put a bit of oil on the mating surface to stop it from leaking. First time I've ever seen that on an actual filter. Bit of a hack: if you are roadside, you're laying down underneath a car and you want to keep something small and important like this safe, if you've got a torch with a magnetic back, you can always just stick it there for safekeeping, which is what I did. We're just going to put this one back in, and that is just to stop this being able to be accidentally loosened off. So it's yeah, it's a nice little safety device there. And we're just going to put the under tray back on, fill her with oil, and give her a check. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to put oil in the top, start it, run it, make sure it's not leaking, and then we're going to put this back on. There we are. I usually check to make sure it's showing on the dipstick before I start the car. This one's showing about halfway, which is about right, because it's probably about half a litre to fill up the filter, or just less. So what we're going to do now, fire it up, make sure that the oil warning light goes out. Right, we'll leave it running for a minute and check underneath. Right, now we'll let this settle whilst we refit the under tray. Right, so now all that's done, the car is settled. I'm just going to check the oil level, and then we're going to set it to the correct level after this now. Well, that is on the minimum, so it needs about another litre, so we were right, it does need about 6.1. Alright, so how to reset an oil service light on a Mondeo. So first thing we're going to do is turn on the ignition, and we're going to be using the OK buttons up and down and OK on this one. Scroll through all the messages. Yes, OK, bonnet open. Right, so yours might come up on the left like mine does, or it might come up in the middle, but yeah, my one's come up on the left, or this customer's one is. So what you want to do is scroll down using the down arrow that I showed you to settings. Go OK into that, OK into vehicle, then we go down, and then there's oil life, go into that one. It says hold OK to reset, so you press and hold the OK button, and there we are. That's how you do it. So now turn the ignition off and turn it back on. There we go. No service light. As with all my services, I have also checked for tyre pressures, tread depths, the coolant level, brake fluid level, brake fluid condition, loads of other stuff, lubricated the door hinges, everything like that. But I'm not going to put that in the video to bore you. If you'd like to know how to do some of that stuff, then have a look at the other videos on our channel. You will find there is one there for weekly checks, which will probably help you out. Right, so there we are. I hope that video has helped you out. If it has, guys, then let us know by hitting a like and subscribe below this video. It really helps us out with the channel. And if you have any questions on this, then by all means fire it in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you in the next video.